It needs to be eradicated from all of our vocabularies, first of all, because tolerance is a sense of I'll put up with. Like, right? I tolerate a headache, or I tolerate you being late to school. You're kind of forced into to experiencing that. We don't tolerate people. We want to again invite people and learn about people. So I think those kinds of programs need to be reset and rethought. The same with like these character, what are they called? Character based programs as well. So schools are bringing in these kind of these models. And first of all, there is no one size fits all. And especially when you think about the vast number of students that are coming from multilingual, right, or multi-ethnic backgrounds. You walk into one of these prepackaged programs and you don't see yourself. And you see the word diversity, where you know what the word diversity actually means, right? It's in contrast to whiteness, right? That's what it is. And it's a word that means nothing and yet means everything. So it lives in this space of paradox to begin with. And so I really think that those programs are very damaging. And if you don't fit into those paradigms, then you don't have the character traits that are basically supposed to be in that school. The other problem is everybody has a different discourse pattern, right? So students that might like learn through music or through rhythm, it's very situated right in African American culture or Black culture or Latino culture, Latinx culture. And when those patterns are up against what we would say like the white Eurocentric normative culture, those students are already positioned where they're forced to, move into what James G talks about is the big D discourse. And if you don't like do the big D discourse again, then you're marginalized as wrong. I think one of the biggest gaps in teacher education, and I have been saying this for 20 something years, is that we need classes to understand the various discourse patterns, because we are white people bring a lens that this is the way you're supposed to write. When in fact, every single culture, ethnicity has their own way of communicating information and knowledge. And the same goes for standardized testing, right? The same goes for reading and for writing. And I mean, for any discipline, there is a right way and there is a wrong way. And the same goes with assessment, because the way that knowledge is assessed in each of those cultures vary. That is why I come back to not giving grades. I am not an authority on every discourse pattern across cultures, and I'm the first to say that. I said it is not fair for me to grade when I have very limited knowledge. I've been conditioned into white culture, right? I also have studied Black English vernacular, what we were calling Black English. Just like we have American English, Black English vernacular is how it used to be called. Ebonics predated that. But when you say Black English vernacular, you're subverting that to white culture. So we can say there's a Latino English, there's an American English, right? There's all these different pockets of Englishes, which puts them all on parity. However, what's the dominant way in schools? Unless you're in a school that is situated, you have what are they called? They're schools that are situated in students' historical identities. Like you have just why am I like just a school for Latino children, Latino, or just a school for Black students. And I don't believe in segregation, but I also believe in empowering students to understand their own histories.
And to clarify, when you say like a character value system, would that be something instituted via like PBIS, positive behavior incentive structures?
Yeah, some of those different like character now, character. I don't know. I don't use them. I use them as a sense of critique.